This is no ordinary Mitsubishi Evo 5. Built by Clive and Jennie Stangle, this Hillclimb machine has been honed, stripped and pushed to the edge, winning the Gurston Down championship with pure focus and raw power. Every panel, every bolt, every decision has been made with one goal: to go faster uphill than anything else in its class. From the stripped interior to the way it launches like a missile off the line, this is a purpose-built weapon, and today I'm lucky enough to drive it. Welcome to Cars with James Mosley.
You know, considering that you are on a tighter budget than some competitors, you've done very well with it though, haven't you? You've won the championship already.
Yeah, well, we've done well.
You know,
we're very fortunate with it. There's a lot of stuff is built up over years of development, of trying things, but you only do one adjustment at a time. So you know, we had the suspension set up by a chap called Simon at Performance Auto Works, and we bought second-hand Jap spec Öhlins suspension.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford new at the time. We bought that from Jap Performance Parts up at Crawley, and got it on the car, and Simon set it up in the workshop, and from that day we've never touched it. We've got a stiffer anti-roll bar on the back, and we run that on the hardest setting now because both of us push the car harder and harder. In the wet, it can be a bit more snappy. Generally put it back into the medium setting, but where we've both gained experience with the car, we just drive around that now. And we won quite a few championships, but it was awesome.
The original engine was the one when you last won the championship,
yes.
So not since it's been rebuilt.
Yeah, so that was the last one, So we had the old Evo 9 turbo on there, and Owen developed one, 80 series. That was awesome. I'd really recommend that turbo to anybody with the road going Evo. That Evo 9 turbo setup, the 2.3 stroker, is awesome. I don't think you can beat it. I think
that's the ultimate.
I think that is the ultimate. Yeah, I honestly think around sort of 450 horsepower, 400 pounds-feet of torque.
Yeah.
Give or take there. I think that's brilliant. You will run out of road with them.
Yeah.
You know, they're quick like that, and they're generally fairly reliable like that. When you start pushing over 500 horsepower, you start wanting to put really expensive parts onto it.
Yes.
You've got to be minded that everything is wearing twice as fast. Your oil changes are upped. Everything like that. You're extracting more horsepower from this engine that it was ever designed for.
And these Evos, even in sort of relatively stock form, require quite a lot of maintenance of all the diffs and everything, don't they?
Yeah. They're a seriously advanced car for their time, really. The AYC on the GSRs, that was really clever. The optimum car for a lot of the tuners is the RS. We've got RS diff on this one. Yeah. Obviously we've got the dog box. And
the box, that's you've got a company X-Shift, haven't you?
Yes.
That sponsors you for your race series with that.
Yes. Very kindly sponsor us with this gearbox. It's my transmission housing, but with the guts inside. Okay. It's all set up by them, and then at the end of the year we'll send it back, and they check over the gearbox, see how everything's doing on wear for development, renew any components if needed. So it's an R&D for them as well. It is a proven box already for rally, and it really is good. And where I've been fortunate to drive the Quaife dog box in this gearbox housing, the 5-speed, and drive this, and both of them are very good. I wouldn't ever slate the competition. You know, Quaife have been doing it a long time, and they are very good. It's quite a bit more notchy on a Quaife, where the X shift is just that little bit more precise.
Okay.
Now we're going up the box end, and it's changing gear like as easy as what you have in a synchro mesh box.
I was going to say, I've never driven a dog box before, so what, in your situation with this car, what's the sort of main advantage of it?
So the main advantage, all I can describe is when you're driving it in competition, accelerating hard, as you go for the quick shift, you go into the next gear, but there's a slight pause before it notches in, and that slight notch isn't there in a dog box, it is straight in. That was the nature, that is the plus side with them. It means that you can be very fast with a gear change and saving you time. You know, getting those times down.
And at the moment, you're obviously, hopefully this year, trying to chase the class record, aren't you? And Gurston, so every 10th counts.
Yeah, every bit of that course counts. It's all about stringing it together, and it's not an easy place to do that at Gurston because things can change very quickly.
We saw that when I came along with you recently. Obviously, I think it was around Ashes at the top. You had a bit of a greasy surface there, or something, and you were just finding it was slipping a little bit.
Yeah, I couldn't deploy the power. I tried to push around the corner, but you can't get any more out of it, and the more you push down on the throttle, the more the wheels will spin, and further wide you will go. So you've got to fill in the throttle a lot on that. A crucial at Gurston is gear changes. You know, you can lose a lot of time in that, and where we were coming out of Ashes, which is like the final tight corner for the finish, when we were deploying to go up the gears, you've got a lot of load on the transmission, and backing off at the right time and selecting that gear, sometimes we haven't managed to get it in gear, and that's really hurt us, where this will go straight in, but with a dog box you could go from 4th to 1st straight in. So if you were doing, say, 80 miles an hour or something, and you want to go down to 3rd, you've got to be precise with your movements. You can put it straight into 1st and boom. You know, every time you put your hand on the stick to go, you're like, right, I'm going 4th straight back, or I've got to move it over. You've got to be precise. The box is built to take abuse, but you don't really want to be doing that. It would be game over if you went and put it 4th to 1st. You know, you would do a lot of damage. Generally, when you come off the clutch, you can feel the revs pick up, and you think, oh, something's not quite right, so it's back to neutral and go again. When you're really accelerating, you don't have to dip your foot on the clutch when going up a gear. It's literally timing that you can release your foot off the pedal, take the load off, and then next gear, and then put your foot back down. Generally, I myself, when I race, I just put my foot down about quarter to halfway on the clutch, and I just take a bit of the shock load out, because you've got all of that torque power going through, and it's bang. I find that it's better for me, and the car doesn't jolt. Every time you get a jolt, you're losing time. And generally, that is what I do. And to be honest, if you look on YouTube at the rallying videos with people with dog boxes, you'll see that a lot of them will just slightly dip the clutch. You can get load cells for ignition cut on your gear stick, so as you pull on it, it cuts the ignition. I'm not so keen on that, because if one of those goes wrong, it could compromise your run, and it could compromise your day, because you're trying to map it out. So I generally go back to old school. People with dog boxes didn't have that. They were just very quick, precise with the movements, and that's what I do really. You can
so when you're going through the gears, obviously there's not much in the way of sound ending, and you can really hear it going in.
Yeah, so
it's interesting.
Every time you go for a gear change in the dog box, you don't feel it in like a synchro mesh. So once you start and it slows down and you think, oh, is it going to go in? Oh, I'll just hold it there and just gently push. It's a big no-no with a dog box. If you can't select that gear, you go back to neutral and then a real positive shift forward, like your life depends on it. What it is that the dogs in there, the drive dogs, look a bit like the cutouts in a castle.
This is where the name comes from.
Yeah, this is where the name comes from. So you don't want it grinding on the edges of those squares, those square edges, because you can get the gearbox to jump out of gear otherwise. This is low boost, stop it. So real positive movements up the gearbox.
Yeah. She goes.
Feel the chatter of the overrun.
Yeah.
Down.
That felt good.
So that's the low boost setting.
Which is about how much?
You're looking around 490, something like that.
Yeah.
The higher boost levels you go higher. The top one we haven't finalised yet. We're still doing a bit of development with that with this engine.
And you select it with the rotary dial down here, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. So I've got a few different settings there. One's low, two's medium, three's high, and then that's all with launch control.
Yeah.
If I go 4, 5 and 6, that's with launch control off.
Okay.
So if you had a problem, you could say I don't want to launch.
What are we on at the minute?
I'm on setting 1 at the moment. So it's just as docile as you can be.
Yeah, but with the launch on.
Yeah, with the launch on.
Okay.
Sitting next to Clive, you really get a sense of how focused and precise this car is, but to truly see it come alive, you've got to watch it doing what it was built for. Here's a Hillclimb run up Gurston Down with Clive pushing it to the limit. After seeing what this Evo can do in the hands of its builder, it's time for me to jump in the driver's seat and see what it feels like from behind the wheel.
Okay, so
might need the
turn,
key.
yeah.
That'd be happy.
So key to second stage ignition, 1, 2. Push the immobiliser button on the key fob once.
This
You'll
one.
hear the fuel pump fire up once. Yeah. Let that do its cycle. Turn the key. The engine will crank over 2 revolutions. How it's set. Then if it starts to cough and start up, just catch it with the throttle, just gently. That's it. Bit more. That's it. Bit more. Throttle. That's it. Yeah. In handbrake.
Didn't hear that sort of clock.
Yeah. There's no synchro mesh to it. That's it.
It's bound to happen, wasn't it?
Okay, clutch off. Just like you think of the clutch, just lift it up halfway and then balance it with the throttle, then you release the rest of it and you take the shock plate out. That's it. Just bring yourself up to it nicely. You're unloading it.
It feels quite good actually.
Yeah, it's a really good change in there. It's in the cleanest I've ever experienced.
It does feel very clean. It's weird because when I sit in the passenger seat and watch you drive it and listen to it and see the footage of you guys driving it, it doesn't sound like it's going to be as clean as that. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, Evo is a very, very forgiving car, and if you push it, generally it will go, all right, you want a bit of this, I'll let you, we can step out if you want to, but not to the point that it's too far. You can get it back. It's a really forgiving car, and we've always tried to keep it like that. When it's on a hard anti-roll bar on the rear, the harsher you are on it, the harsher the car will be on you, and if you're going to be harsh, it will snap. And you've got to be prepared for that, because it will start to bite. So yeah, it's just building yourself up. You can feel like the car really starts to want to go when it gets up a higher revs. And
that was literally a very light tickle. That was.
Yeah. Oh, I have to wait for this guy. The characteristic is completely different to the old one. So the old one, the turbo would start to run out of puff at around 6,500. Everything just started to slow up, and even though that the engine had a lot of torque, and that's what you use, it would run out of puff. So there's no point revving it out. You go for the next gear and start pulling again. You know, the turbo's running out. Where on this new engine that Steve Geary and I built, Roland Aslop, machine shop, this is different characteristics now, because we changed the rod ratio, and now with this turbo, which got from Mark from Turbo Performance down at Ringwood, this turbo, which is this is a G30 series turbo, 770 with a 103 housing on it. It did have an 82 housing. To settle the car down, it's put it in 4th gear. It really gets going. That's it. It was a good down change, that. Yeah, I generally do, because anything like that, you're trying to reduce wear on it, everything. So
yeah, like I said, I quite like how the gearbox feels at the moment.
Yeah.
It surprises me how, like I said, how kind of clean it shifts in, because it doesn't kind of, and it's just the noise. It doesn't sound like it would. It sounds like it's quite a rough shift almost.
Yeah. That's the sound of the dogs clattering together, so the square edge against square edge, and as you're moving towards that, if you're very slow with the gear change, or you're trying to feel it in better, you're right on the tips of the dog, and you can take the edges off, and then it's more likely you'll damage the gearbox, then it will start to jump out of gear. So yeah, build it into second. That's it. Moving, now. That's it. Yeah.
Steering feels great.
Yeah, we've worked a lot with the steering on it. Then calm her down, just go into 5th gear, and she'll just settle down.
Yeah. Very, very responsive.
Yeah, everything is well. The car has been built around me and my wife. We tried to get a happy medium for it. I've always liked quite a sharp tight car, and I like every movement of the steering wheel. It does something. I don't like a delay. That's one thing I'd put against this gearbox, is that it's very inviting to a newbie to dog boxes.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is.
It's good. The gear ratios are good. The select's good. You can really feel the car. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah, yeah. So you can feel when you let the weight off the engine to load, that is the optimum time to shift. And
I felt good.
Yeah, you can feel it through the change, can't you? That it went that bit easier. It's straight in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a quick shift.
Yeah.
When you get it right.
Yeah. And you can get faster and faster and faster with it. It's but that comes over time. You can't expect to, jump in and be completely used to it.
It's like jumping back to my first driving lesson back in the day.
Yeah.
Almost. Struck to Clive. No, I think you've done a grand job building it.
Oh, thank you.
Feels good to me. I mean, I'm no expert, obviously, but from someone, like you said, never driven a dog box before, and it's basically a road-going race car. It's great. Loving it.
Yeah.
Very much enjoying driving it.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's there's one thing with the car, where I built the engine, I'm listening to every single noise now, where every nut and bolt I've done, when I was setting the crank up with the big end bearings, I had it in and out 5 times, and I'm using plastic gauge and I'm checking all the measurements, so it is spot on.
Yeah. I know your attention to detail is significant, so I've no doubt that it's spot on.
Yeah. I'm listening now, like you can hear the whine of the transmission, you can hear the engine revs, and you put it all together.
Yeah.
And if one of those goes out of sync, you're thinking, why is that? And I could either be having a misfire or something's going wrong, and that's where that mechanical sympathy and feel comes from, and that comes from experience. It's not overnight, and that's what I mean. You can drive a car right on the racy edge, high RPM, and everything's crazy. You're like, whoa, you can't take it in.
Yeah.
And like when I say, like, calm the car down, just put it in 5th, drop the revs, everything comes back to you and go, oh right, let's just build myself up again.
Yeah.
I've seen too many people get in it and they go mad and they're like, whoa, and they get complacent because they're rushing everything and it causes damage. Just, you have to build yourself up to a car like this, and it's rewarding.
It is.
The things this car has done against cars with bigger budgets and technology, that McLaren 570S at the North Weald airfield, he's got all of the aero, he's got everything, and I managed to pinch FTD off of him, and I don't have traction control. I have a very prehistoric ABS system on here, and I quite like that. I don't like it to cut in too much. I feel it on the pedal. If it starts to lock, I ease my foot off the pedal. I like that feel.
Yeah.
But you had a car there that did everything for you, and it's like you could react faster than human reactions, but this went 2 seconds faster around a tight circuit, so that was quite impressive.
That was an absolute blast, raw, focused and seriously quick. Massive thanks to Clive and Jennie for letting me drive their championship winning Evo 5. If there's anything else you'd like to know more about the build, the setup or the hill climb side of things, drop a comment below, and if you want to see more of this car in action, let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.